Hello, I'm David Dowdy, and I'm here to tell you about some exciting work that's happening in Uganda, helping families to eat better and also to earn a little bit of money. It all started with a couple of dairy goats. 30 years ago, Jackie, my wife, and I went to Uganda. We went to help a local church to set up an orphans assistance program. We didn't know that we were going to be keeping goats, but what we found when we were there, living in the village alongside the local people there, we couldn't get any milk. Well, we knew about goats, and goats are smaller than cows, easier to look after. We said, okay, let's find our own goat to milk it. Not as simple as it sounds, because the local goats in Uganda actually aren't worth milking. They don't produce enough milk to make it worthwhile. So we had to travel 200 miles to get a couple of pure European type goats from a project that had been set up by Heifer International. We also had to bring them back on public bus, which was a bit of an adventure. It worked very well for us, but it was quite a lot of effort to keep those goats healthy. The European goats, they're well adapted to European conditions, but not to the wet tropics. So clearly it wasn't something we could easily pass on to the local community. And yet there were people there that needed milk even more than we did, because they had young children and they wanted to improve the diet, and the milk just wasn't in the village. So we started to experiment. We crossbred the purebred male with local goats, and actually we got some very good results. The offspring were fast-growing, strong-looking, healthy, and they were worth milking. Not as much milk as the pures, but definitely worth milking. In the meantime, the appearance of these long-haired goats with big horns created a lot of interest in the village, and people started to crossbreed their local goats with our purebred male. They got offspring from them, and it really looked like, yes, this is something that, had worked almost by accident. It wasn't our main program, but people were getting these healthy goats that they would be able to get milk from. Except they didn't get milk from them, because milking goats was such a weird idea that they never actually made that final step of milking the crossbred goats. Some people did try, and we persevered. We did training, we encouraged people. And after about 10 years, we could say that, yes, that became something that people would say, yes, in this area, we milk our goats and we have that for our children. It wouldn't have been something that would have been easy to do as part of a government program or as an NGO. But as missionaries living there, spending that length of time, it did work. And the idea did get transferred, and people did improve their lifestyles. Word got out, and people from other parts of Uganda, even a few from other countries, came to us looking for goats and looking for expertise. The goat work was originally just a small part of what we wanted to do, but it had developed a life of its own. So about 15 years ago, we handed the original program over to another couple, and I took the goat work nationwide. So we created Joy Goat Development Program, and it worked. But it was hard work initially. We had to look for places where they would accept the idea. We had to provide the purebred male for them to then crossbreed from, and we had to do quite intensive training. With time, there's been a shift in attitude. These days, we no longer have to look hard to find places to take the program to. People are coming to us, asking us to take the training to them. And in many, many cases, they're coming up with the money needed to buy 1 or 2 or 3 good quality males to take to their area and to start off the breeding program. As you can see from the map, All those red dots represent places where we've been and we've done training. And in a large number of those, there's now active crossbreeding going on. But costs have gone up. We have to maintain motorbikes to travel on quite rough terrain. The fuel costs have gone up dramatically in the last couple of years. So just at a time when there's increased demand for our services, we're having difficulty maintaining even the level that we have in the last couple of years. And yet we would like to expand. We'd like to meet that demand. So any help you can give us to actually get the ideas out, to get the goats out, to help people to improve the nutrition of their children, any help you can give us would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.